Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Don't know what I'm gonna be calling this yet, or if I'm even gonna be calling it anything. But as a lot of you guys might know, I've recently finished doing this whole kind of DIY quarantine project for the bar. I got a little carried away with it, obviously, but I had a lot of fun making it, and one thing I kind of realized was how awesome it was to have everybody kind of get involved with the process, and how I was able to ask people's opinion on stuff, and et cetera, et cetera. So I figured I would kind of go online and just be a bit of an outlet for what we seem to have missed a lot over the past little while. I know a lot of friends of mine who would really love coming into the bar and just kind of hanging out, having a drink, having a chat. And I used to really love that too. It's something we haven't really gotten a whole lot of this year, and I figured this would be a really good place to kind of try and get that back. Now, I hope everybody kind of bears with me. We're just kind of starting this out. It's just an idea that I had, which was given to me worth a shout out by John Coe, who's a coworker and friend of mine. He does streams as well. We're trying to figure out what days who's doing what. But you should definitely check out his stream as well. He knows so much more about cocktails than I do, and drinks in general. The guy's a wealth of knowledge. So if you're really into the process of making cocktails and wanting to learn more about it, I highly, highly recommend you go check out his stuff. He does flair, he does infusions. He taught me how to use this thing, kind of. I'm still learning, but I'm doing my best. I'm just trying to get this whole thing set up, but the first thing I'm gonna do, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm just a little bit nervous, is I'm gonna have a shot. We're gonna start with some Irish tonight, because that'll go down easiest. I'm also going to put a spout on there because I feel like this is not going to be the last one of the hour. These spouts kind of suck. All right. Cheers, guys. Hopefully to a few more, and I hope some of you are tuning in online and sharing one with me. Now, bear with me because I'm going to try and, I've got my laptop open here. I'm going to try and see if I can get the stream up on there so that I can read everybody's comments. Because if you guys saw the rig that that's another thing that needs to be improved. If you saw the rig that I had just to get my phone in the right position right now, you'd all be laughing your heads off. All right, I think I've got it. If anybody wants to just say something in the chat for the few of you that are here already, that would be extremely helpful. We'll just go with this for now and see if that works. Yeah, I think that should be fine. So, one of the things that I said I was going to do on this stream was obviously make a few cocktails. So, I'm going to break open my ice bag here. Okay, I just saw that now, John. Thank you so much, buddy. So if there's a delay, now you know. I've even got a meat tenderizer back here. So this was one of my first ideas for when I made the bar, I was like, okay, I want to have an ice well. Most people kind of looked at me like, you're an idiot, right? And I go, yes, that is true, but I still want an ice well. So, with the help of a few of the guys in the kitchen at the place that I work, they let me borrow one of their big dish bins for a few days. Came home, measured it, and now it's set. It actually worked out. All I had to do was just kind of like put it in this little hole in the countertop, which is also done. If you guys haven't seen any of how this countertop got installed, by the way, go to the first highlight on my thanks, buddy. Go to the first highlight on my page and look at some of the stuff that happened in the building of this bar. It was so ridiculous that it made me realize, okay, maybe I am doing something right here, because this is just so out of the ordinary. Anyway, I'm gonna start by making a cocktail. I figured I would kind of open it up a little bit though before I just dove into something weird, and see if anybody had any ideas, anything they wanted to see. Realistically, I'm gonna end up making more than one. So I think what I'll start with. What do I want to start with tonight? Actually, there is one that I've been thinking about making for a little while now. Let me just see if I can pull it up here. Oh, Andrew wants something with mezcal. Okay. Let's. Oh, you know what? No. Okay, I got a cool one here. So I found this spirit. At my parents' place, actually, a long, long time ago. It was buried deep in the back of their liquor cabinet. And, usually you're only going to your parents' liquor cabinet to, find some cheap, shitty vodka to steal and replace with water, if you're into that kind of thing. But the last time I was over there, which admittedly was too long ago, I found this spirit. It's called Agavero. It is advertised as the original tequila liqueur. I'm going, okay, pretty sure tequila's already a spirit. I looked it up, and I could be wrong in this, but from what I know, a spirit is classified as 40% or more, or 80 proof. Anything below that has to be classified as a liqueur. Why this is 32% and a liqueur flavored like tequila, I assure you I do not know. I assume it's because a bit more agave flavor, a little less intense heat from the spirit. But I found it, I tried it, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. It's really, really just kind of a fun sort of bottle you don't see everywhere. Agavero. Oh, it's actually blue. Look at that. That's kind of cool. Okay, we're obviously going to have to go through a whole lot more of this so that everybody can see the tinge of this bottle, because I think it's very, very cool. As you can probably guess, I'm a bit of a sucker for a cool bottle. Like anything I find weird and funky, or even just the label, I'll pick up just cause. There's a couple of them back here, like the Amarlad, the Amer. Those are both beautiful bottles. Anybody ever seen the Padre tequila bottles? Those are super crazy, and they come with these amazing stopper. Like if you have a decanter or something like that, that's awesome. That's very cool. Anyway, cocktail. So, mezcal. If anybody's ever heard of a Oaxacan Old Fashioned, if you're an Old Fashioned fan, a Oaxacan Old Fashioned is something that I recommend to anybody who wants to kind of branch out, and someone who's afraid of tequila. I know there's a lot of people out there who had a bad college experience with tequila, don't necessarily want to keep, doing that to themselves, but a Oaxacan Old Fashioned is similar in as much as it's just kind of the same spirits, same measurements, but with tequila and mezcal. So instead of 2 ounces of bourbon, you use 1 ounce tequila, 1 ounce of mezcal, and a little bit of agave nectar, which you pick this bottle up at a Cocktail Emporium. Works perfectly. I've been very happy with it. You can also just get wholesale agave nectar from the grocery store. This, I just felt like being bougie. And the smaller increments, the better. Agave syrup, you can get wholesale because it doesn't go bad, but some things, they have a shelf life. So what I did for this Oaxacan riff was 1 ounce of Agavero, 1 ounce of mezcal, a little bit of this agave nectar, and then I'm going to add some of these Sweet Reaper bitters, which I'll show you in a second. Sweet Reaper bitters was something that I found online, and I don't want to say too much about it just yet, because I've actually been in contact with a few companies, and there has been a little bit of interest in some people sponsoring some episodes. I think, talking with some of the reps and people from these distilleries, I really want to, promote as much Canadian content as I can. So it seemed like a bit of a win-win for everybody. So I called around, and I'm going to get the chance to promote and tell you guys about some amazing Canadian distilleries out there. If you guys are interested in, starting your own home bar, making some cocktails at home, even just kind of learning a little bit more about spirits, and wanting to support local, especially in times like this, I find it absolutely imperative to do so. So if you tune into the stream every week, or maybe twice a week, who knows, we're going to be doing a whole lot of that. We're going to be doing a whole lot of promoting Toronto, Ontario, Canadian distilleries. So stay tuned in. I don't want to say too much just yet because I don't want to spoil it, but there's going to be a lot of that and some surprises as well. Kind of fun. Anyway, cocktail time. I said cocktail time. Who am I? Jess, I don't know if you can admit that on the internet. That's gonna stay with you for the rest of your life. This mixing tin, I don't know if you can see it, but I absolutely love the decals on it. Decals, whatever. But I ordered it from a website called Bartender World, and it offered free international shipping on everything from, definitely not Canada or the States. And I was super hesitant about ordering from them, but eventually I did get my order. I was very happy about that. They offer really competitive prices on a lot of really great barware, so check them out. Obviously it's coming from not Canada or the States, but they, so it may take a little while, but they offer really great stuff. Now, let's see glassware. I'm going to put these in these Santa Teresa glasses, which I find absolutely beautiful. Ah, crap. Okay, hold on one second. Hello. So that right there is one thing I want to avoid or fix in coming streams. I've been looking into it, into getting a little freezer back here. Freezers are expensive. If you guys think mini fridges cost a little bit of money, oh my god, freezers suck. It's brutal. So if anybody knows a tiny mini freezer that might fit under, I don't know what it is, 30 inches or 25 inches or something like that, let a man know, because he is very interested. So I don't know what I'm going to call this yet. I just made one the other day and I absolutely loved it. Oh, also, shout out to the guys from Civil Liberties. I went and picked up a few fun little liqueurs from their bottle shop, which you should check out. Go just search Civil Liberties, Civil Lib TO on Instagram, and you'll find a link to their store. They have an amazing bottle shop if you like weird liqueurs like I do. Got amazing spirits. They got takeout beer, and if you go, you can get takeout Irish coffee. They do pour over coffee, on the spot. It's the best bar in Toronto. What are you gonna do? And they gave me some D-Highs, a little garnish. The probably worst garnish for this cocktail ever, but it's pretty now. So, cheers. I love that. That's awesome. It's a little bit lower proof, so you can enjoy more of them. And you get that agave flavor a little bit stronger, at least to my palate. Now, maybe for those tequila people who are afraid of tequila, Natalie, I miss your dumb face too, except it's not dumb, it's gorgeous. I got enough dumb for both of us. Thanks, Ryan. Oh, by the way, Hollywood 5-0. Ryan, before this whole, COVID mess kept everybody at home and alone, Ryan helped build this bar quite a bit. Like, I realized how much of a millennial I am while building this. I have absolutely no, handyman skills whatsoever. I know it may look like it. It doesn't. But I got nothing. I have no idea what I'm doing. So thank you to everybody who helped me realize this crazy, ridiculous idea that I have. And Ryan, I got another shout out for him. We're going to have a little chalkboard over on this wall in a little while. I put out a poll, and the response was overwhelmingly chalkboard. You'll get to see how terrible I am at writing specials and drawing in cursive and stuff. Anyway, what was I saying? I was talking about agave. Oh yeah, for the tequila, people who fear tequila, stop thinking of it as first year kegger. Someone offers you a bottle, you don't know what it is, and the next day just suddenly everything goes black. You wake up the next day hating your life. Agave is the flavor. Agave is the plant that tequila is distilled from, similar to rye or corn whiskey and stuff like that. Agave is just the base plant that's distilled from. That flavor in itself is lovely. You'll find a lot of it in agave nectar. That is kind of like the pure sort of flavor, just with a little bit of sugar. Okay, a lot of sugar, but that's the best way to get used to that flavor without adhering some terrible memory to it. That was just my way that I went through it. Also, Mezcal Agua Santa, amazing mezcal. Mezcals are a little bit more expensive than tequilas, just so you're aware before you go to the LCBO and you're like, oh, mezcal's super cool. Mezcals are a little bit more expensive, but they're totally worth it. They are by far my favorite spirit out there. And I've got so many mezcal mezcal-based cocktails out there that I am starting to think that maybe I should diversify a little bit. By the way, if anybody's got any questions about what bartending, cocktails, something they want to make at home, I've always wanted this to be, a collaborative thing. So if anybody's out there having a drink and you're feeling alone tonight, or you miss talking to your friends, by all means, reach out. I'm pretty sure there's a button to ask to join the stream. I'd love to talk to you guys. I know we're just starting out with this kind of thing, and we're feeling it out as we go. But if you want to hop on and have a drink, then please, or, ask a question. I don't know if I'm going to be the right one to answer it, but I got a ton of ridiculous stories. Megan, hello to both of you guys. It's been way too long since I've seen either of you. That was kind of another one of the reasons I wanted to do this. It's really kind of blown my mind how much I've seen a lot of people around Toronto reaching out to each other and trying to make sure that our friends are okay. We want to make sure that all of our loved ones are being careful and being safe and everything like that. And I've seen so many of my friends posting on Instagram and stuff like that, like, hey, if you need someone to talk to, reach out. If you I'm here. And I've loved seeing that so much. It's trouble, because I see a lot of that stuff and I'm thinking, well, what about the people who don't want to reach out, right? So I kind of just wanted to do this as a way to have a space where people can come and tune in, and even if I'm just kind of shouting into the void, we've lost a lot of normalcy this year, and this was maybe just my way of trying to bring back a tiny little part of that. Oh my gosh, silliest thing I've done out of quarantine boredom. That's a good question. Out of quarantine, what? Probably this, honestly, because I walk in my apartment every single day, and I look at this thing, and I'm going, oh my god, what have I done? I still have the list of like parts and stuff and their associated costs. I have it all written down on my phone, and I'm too scared to add them all up. But I'm happy I did it. And even now, like, I'm looking around, I see constant things that I can and need to be fixed. Like, I want to get a freezer, I want to get this chalkboard, I gotta fix the lighting. I was gonna do some lighting over here. If you guys have any suggestions, if you see anything that you would like to see somebody use, shout it out, like point it out. I am always looking for something. On John's stream last week, he used a smoker on one of his cocktails. He had one, and so I literally, 10 minutes after he signed off, I'm on Amazon scrolling through like the cheapest smoker I can find that I'm, like, whichever one I think is cheap enough that I can afford, but expensive enough that it won't fall apart in my hands. So if you see anything else that you've been interested in seeing somebody use, or wanting to go to a cocktail bar and see the bartender messing with it, maybe I'll try Flair. Back here, yeah, that would go over really, really badly. Funniest conversation I've overheard working at a bar. Okay, I know this one hands down. This one's super easy. One time, so this was back when I used to work at a speakeasy. We had this amazing night where, like, once a week, where we would have live music come in, and we would be selling all of our scotches at cost, or like very, very close to cost. So really, really cheap scotch. We call it Scotch and Soul, because all the live music was soul music or neo soul, and on the nights we didn't have live music, we would be playing all Sam Cooke and like Etta James and Nina Simone, all this just beautiful, beautiful music. It was the best day of my week, for more reasons than one. And so one night, we had a live act coming in, and they didn't get there till 7, but one woman was like practically knocking on the door at 6 when we opened. And yes, it was a speakeasy, so the door was always locked. You had to call a phone number, and a dark, smoky, mysterious voice on the other end of the line would go, "Hello, can I help you?" Obviously, that was me, and I'm doing a really bad impression of me going, "Yeah, what?" But we'd have to like go and let you in. So that was a lot of fun on a Friday night. This woman came in, and she got a table, everything seemed normal. She said she was meeting her boyfriend, and they were friends of the person doing the act, or the performer. So everything seemed normal. I got a couple drinks. You ever get that moment where you can just kind of feel the energy in a room change? I'm not, pretending to think that some kind of magic happened or anything, but you can just kind of tell when someone's tone of voice changes. So me and my coworker, we both felt that. We kind of looked at each other, and we looked over at the booth across it's not a big bar, like across the room. And we see this woman talking very low and very seriously and very measured to her boyfriend who had arrived. And I'm going, should we do something about that? He's like, no, let's see how this plays out. Long story short, because we're eavesdroppers and that's what we do, he was admitting to her that he had cheated on her the night before and still came to the date. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. It's like, but, so he was admitting that he had cheated on her, and she was like trying to stay calm. She didn't. He was like, okay, I can't handle this. And he went to the bathroom, and she comes up to the bar and orders a shot of mezcal. I'm like, okay, that's an interesting choice. You don't look like the type, but okay, fine, whatever. Gets a shot of mezcal, like downs it like a champ. She's like, okay, now you guys have to have one, and I want another one. And me and my coworker, this is a pretty girl. We're both going, like, yeah, okay. And we very quickly realized that was not the way to go about this, because she almost immediately after draining the second shot, bursts into tears. Like, the whole thing, like, I am beautiful. And we're like, yes, we are. Yep, we agree. Wholeheartedly. She's like, I take care of myself. I'm like, you do. You look very much like you take care of yourself. And she's like, I have so much to offer. And I'm like, you do, really, really. She's like, especially in bed. And I'm going, for the love of God, what? Okay, this is going off the rails very, very quickly. At that point, the boyfriend comes back, walks directly behind her, and goes and sits in the booth as if nothing has happened. And me and my coworker are going, this is getting weirder by the minute. She proceeds to get drunk, like very, and does that whole thing where you get up really close to the performer and like really cheers them on. That's great for a big venue. Again, small bar. This was a tiny, tiny place. And so she gets absolutely hammered drunk. She ends up yelling at him, yelling at the performer. Performer comes up, says, I don't know her. She ends up crying and then like just kind of melting into her boyfriend for a little while. By the end of the night, she's back to completely normal. They've seemingly made up. They're having a great time. They're laughing. And suddenly they're both gone. And I'm going, hey, did you get the bill from them? He's like, no, they haven't left yet. And I go, then where are they? And he goes, shit. We call our manager over, who's a female, and that manager has to go check the women's room. Because sure enough, they were both in there. And the looks on their faces as they were essentially like dragged out by their ears, still dressing again. It was it was like watching the 7 stages of grief play out right in front of your eyes in hyperspeed. It was one of the weirdest nights I've ever had at a bar. But boy, that was a funny time. The reason I really love Scotch and Soul Sundays. But I love remembering. That's a great story. Somebody wants a shot of tequila. Hey Hayden, hey Jenna. Hey Dars, thanks buddy, I appreciate that, man. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna do a shot of tequila. One sec. This is a lot of tequila, by the way. Oh, Espolon. I got these 2 tequilas. Espolon Reposado, lovely. This one is called, I thought it was called Siempre. No? Whoops. No, it's Mi Campo. Okay. Anyway, this was rested in wine barrels. So I thought this was it's a repo, but it seemed really, really cool because it was rested in wine barrels. I was like, that seems very interesting and different. So I picked it up. Really like this tequila. It should still be available at the LCBO. So go check that one out. I use this one for weird stuff, but I'm going to just try and get rid of this bottle because, believe it or not, I am trying to make a little room. Favorite person you met at a bar? That one's easy. Of all the gin joints in all the world, my partner walked into mine. And that's somebody I met right before I left my last job. No, sorry. Actually, wow, that was stupid. What am I doing? Anyway, cheers. The last specific cocktail bar I worked at. But yeah, it was another funny night. Same bar, by the way. Somebody came up to the bar near the end of the night. I'm literally just watching myself mess up that pouring a tequila shot out of a jigger. So somebody came into the bar near the end of the night, and they come up to the bar afterwards, and they go to my coworker, and they go, hi, excuse me, who made this martini? And him, understandably thinking there's about to be a complaint, he points to the guy at the other end of the bar. He goes, that guy, he did it. That one, the one over there, that guy, he's the one. You want to complain? That him down there. And she goes, can you call him over here? This is the best martini I've ever had. Just give him a compliment. And I don't know if he meant this or not, but the look on his face as he has to turn like down and kind of shout down the entire bar is like, Blake, may I? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? He's like, this person would like to compliment your martini. And just skulks off. And I mean, honestly, I would probably do the exact same thing as a bartender. I would, nobody wants to be second fiddle. And, this guy came up with some great stuff, so I don't blame him. But so that is, I apologize to everybody else I've met at the bar. I love all of you equally on the second tier. But, that's got to be the best person I've met at a bar. I'm just glad it was in person, honestly, as opposed, everybody's meeting online now. I felt behind the times. What is my favorite drink? Whoa, I am behind. Okay, all right. What is my favorite drink? My favorite drink, I would say right now, it changes, daily, weekly. Right now it's a Revolver. A Revolver is a cocktail traditionally made with bourbon, coffee liqueur, and Angostura bitters. Very, very simple. I make a riff on that that is Canadian whiskey, coffee liqueur, bitters, and I'm pretty sure cinnamon syrup. I would have to look it up. Here, hold on. I do have the recipe. All Canadian ingredients, essentially. Coffee liqueur, maple syrup, orange bitters, and smoke and oak bitters I use the ones from Mrs. Better's. Mrs. Better's is awesome. I still remember my very first job was at a Red's wine bar. And they had the Miss Better's foaming bitters, so you don't have to use egg whites. You can make like vegan sours. Cool stuff. But so that's my favorite drink right now. Is kind of like a revolver riff because I'm obsessed with coffee. Favorite tequila brand for sipping? There's a couple out there that are really, really good for sipping. I mean, I know everybody likes Clase Azul. There's one that we have at work called Addictivo. That one's really, really good. I recently found out that Patron, I know, but Patron is one of the only tequila brands in the world that have been certified to have no additives whatsoever. Clase Azul, these ones up here, these funky bottles, and Don Julio, from what I've heard, they got a lot of additives in them, like sugars, caramels, flavors, colorings. You wonder why you have a hangover in the morning. Don't get me wrong, amazing tequila, really good stuff, but I've heard stories. Patron, very different flavor profile. Which is why a lot of people think like, oh, that doesn't taste like tequila. That's not what tequila is supposed to taste like. In fact, from what I've heard, it is what tequila is supposed to taste like. It's just a little different. Again, with the agave flavoring. And you can get Roca Patron, which is all Tahona pressed. Tahona is just this big stone wheel. They go around like with a donkey and stuff. It's an interesting process. Google it if you can. So, a couple of those are really, really good. Guys, thank you for getting involved. This is nice. I really appreciate this. If Gizmo's around, if I see him walking around at one point, I will. I'll pick him up and show everybody. He's the most. A lot of people think he's terrifying looking. I mean, I think he's gorgeous, but obviously that's, a father's skewed perspective. What is the Di Serono? The Di Serono. I'm assuming you mean this. This is a Quebecois Amaretto. It's still got sawdust on it from when I was trying to fix something down there. This is a Quebecois Amaretto. I just like supporting as many Canadian and local businesses as I can. Buying Di Serono would have been easy. What I like is finding craft stuff. And this was a stellar find. I got a couple different things. There are some things, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but there's the LCBO, and then there's SAQ. SAQ is the Quebecois version of LCBO, and they offer different selections. this is one of the selections that's only available at SAQ because it's distilled in Quebec. It's just like extremely crafted. It's small batch. Very, very good stuff. Amaretto it's like a forest nut liqueur. I use it in very small doses because it's extremely sweet, extremely potent, but it can offer a really, really good flavor profile to anybody who wants to kind of sweeten up a drink and give it a little bit of personality. So I really like that Amaretto. Yannick, I didn't... Oh, he says, where's the Di Serono? Well, there it is. That's my version of the Di Serono. Describe a drink you'd make that would embody Darcy Schnarr. Okay, let me think here. So Darcy's one of my oldest friends in the world. I've known the guy since I was 6 years old. He's... First, his favorite color is green. He's very tall. He's very blonde. I would definitely be... It would be some form of cucumber highball. That'd be my guy. In this glass here. This is like a very tall, thin, elegant highball glass. I do like a cucumber wrap around there. Maybe a celery stalk or something like that. Yeah, fizzy, bubbly, the bright little unicorn that Darcy is. Actually, that would be a fun game. One of these days, I'll get people to kind of phone in and see if or you know what, DM me before any stream, and if you want me to make like your perfect drink, I'll do it. I just need like maybe 5 minutes of notice because obviously I don't have a cucumber at home. I don't think I've got anything in my house other than coffee and pizza, but I would be more than happy to make. You would like it. Yeah, there's a few things like. That's one of those things I want to be able to do with this channel. I don't know, stream, whatever. Is I miss making things for my friends. I have been lucky enough to have friends of mine who, like, I know they don't all love cocktails. I get it. I obviously am a bit of a geek for them. And I've had friends of mine who on, Friday night or their night off or something like that have come down to my bar just to sit and watch me, pour over what I have in the back and mess around with stuff. I remember Darcy specifically, I made him a Black Prince one time, which is, oh my god, dark rum, Punti Mess, bitters, and I think a little bit of Averna, if I'm remembering correctly. It's a very strong, very dark rum drink, and it's one of those ones that, I like Oaxacan old fashions and boozy stuff. Not everybody likes that. So, I could tell that Darcy, I probably didn't hit it right on the head for him. But, he came down and he lied straight to my face, and I will always appreciate that, buddy. So, there's been multiple times where I've been very lucky to have a lot of people sit at my bar who have, indulged in this craziness with me. So, I appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. What do we got? We got 15 people. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for the first couple times. I'm happy with that. Cole, thank you very much, brother. I appreciate that. Cole is, for anybody, is the camera right? No. You can't see the actual guts of the bar, but the framing, the very first thing that went in, Cole built this for me in like a week. The man's a whack job. He's an absolute genius with this kind of thing. It looks perfect, and it's all built out of pallets, like old skids. A really, really great way of recycling and using available product and stuff like that. It's held up so far, so you're doing a great job, bud. I would say go to his profile and the pallet building project for anything that you want built super rustic. He also built my fireplace mantle and my shelf that will never be seen on this stream because it makes me look too much like a booze hound, but I'm a big fan of the Blood Brothers Brewery, so I collect their bottles because they've got beautiful art on their bottles. It's all like satanic and cult themed, but it's just cool stuff. I'm not explaining it well, but it's cool looking stuff. So I just kind of lined them all up there. But he built all that stuff, and it's super rustic, and it works really, really well with like my apartment and the way I've finagled everything in here. I'm very happy with it. So cheers, buddy. Go check out his profile. He lives in Vancouver now, but if you live in the Vancouver area, I'm sure he'd be happy to build something for you because he's absolutely amazing at this stuff. Michael, buddy, hey, how you doing, man? Michael and I just, we actually, Michael doesn't understand why I'm working with ice because we've both spent the past 3 weeks freezing our asses off for a project that we can't really talk about yet, I guess. But that's my other gig. Honestly, I've never really considered cocktailing much of a job. I know that's like everybody says that in a job interview, but a lot of you know I've got 2 different kind of gigs. This has always kind of just been more like a hobby that I'm surprised people pay me for. And I don't like being bored, so I love going into work on the weekends and having that really tense kind of atmosphere. It's been a lot of fun over the past few years, but Michael, yes, it's porn, yes. Michael and I have been doing very, very cold porn, icebox porn. So 3 gigs when you really think about it. Okay, I think I'm ready to make another cocktail here. I'm not going to use this for this one. This is one I've been thinking about making. I'm going to have to tweak it a little bit just because of what we have here this week, but this one is fun. I was practicing this while I was watching John's stream yesterday. That guy knows a ton of really cool flare tricks. This is the only one I know. That's literally it. And then you can just kind of, if you're not crap. So yeah, DM me for flare info and tutorial videos. That I don't have any of that stuff on. But what I want to do tonight, one of my other favorite drinks is a penicillin. Penicillin is blended scotch, a little touch of Isla scotch, the really peaty one, lemon, honey, ginger, all that good stuff. Maybe a little bit of bitters if I feel like that. Everything, drink your medicine type thing. So what I wanted to do, I came up with this idea a week ago. I haven't tested it yet, so I figured now would be a good time. Is I wanted to make a kind of autumn penicillin as opposed to, well, a lot of those flavors are autumn-ish anyway, but I wanted to make an alternative penicillin. And I gotta remember I have it written down here. Okay, so I'm gonna start with, what I always liked to do was I would flip my penicillins. Instead of blended scotch as the base, I would use Isla scotch as the base just because I love that peat. Anybody who knows me and knows my obsession with mezcal will definitely know that. Same kind of thing. But let's see here, where is my Isla? Okay. If you make a lot of cocktails at home, pick up a bottle of Isla Mist because it's a lot cheaper than having to use like a peated scotch for a cocktail because you'll end up absolutely broke very, very quickly. Isla Mist will give you that peat flavor. It's like not a bad spirit by any means. What are you doing? And yes, I know I'm supposed to put the bitters in first and work my way up to the base spirit, but you know what? I bought this stuff already anyway, so if I waste it, I waste it. There are a lot of very specific ins and outs to the cocktailing industry that some people get very touchy about. I'm not really into that whole thing, but to each their own. Also, so now for this penicillin, I want to use lime juice instead of lemon juice. Oh, wait a minute. No, I can do that. Okay, yeah. Here, hold on. I remember I went and bought a few limes just for this special occasion. So I'm going to chop these limes up. This may take a while. And I'm just going to squeeze them right in here. I'm looking for 3/4 of an ounce. Oh wow, that was easier than I thought. That's a juicy lime. Let's toss that down there. Went and got a trash can today. That was one of my improvements. I'm slowly getting there. If anybody has asked to join the stream already, like, say so that I know that I have to fix that for next time. I'm working on trying to get, like, a secondary phone so that I can, like, look at stuff here and there and all over. But this is what happens when you let an idiot with a camera loose on social media with alcohol involved. Where is my Montenegro? Oh, there we go. I've ordered some lighting for the back there too because I can't see anything. That's the other thing. Again, I'm going to keep shouting out John because his stream is absolutely fantastic. He does a bunch of amazing stuff where he infuses spirits. He'll like... one thing I once saw him do was take one of these, which is a whipped cream dispenser maker magic thingy, and he put like, John, what was it? It was like ginger or saffron or something. He put gin in here and a little bit of saffron pellets and stuff like that, and he held his hand over here and he like nitrogened it and vacuumed it for like 15 seconds, and that's what a flash infusion is. If you ever hear anybody talk about a flash infusion, that's what it is. Literally, he poured it out. The gin was a different color, and it tasted like saffron. It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen in my life. He can attest to the fact that I geeked out so hard watching this. So he does a lot of that stuff. I kind of truffle saffron infusion. Like, I mean, really cool stuff that us mere mortals only dream of. But so I focus more on using the bottles that I have to kind of finagle my way towards the flavor profile that I want. Now I'm going to use a little bit of this ginger liqueur, another SAQ exclusive. This is called Mayhaven. It is from, I know it's from Quebec, but Gatineau. It's where my granddad used to live. I'm still waiting to see if Gizzy comes around so I can bring him up for a little cameo. Alright, so we've got Mayhaven there, a little ginger liqueur. This is lovely. I was surprised. I was going to pick up a bottle of the Domaine de Canton, which is a great ginger liqueur. That's available at the LCBO if you want to do something with ginger or a penicillin. You can also make your own ginger syrup. I've got my ginger syrup here. Super easy to make. Just chop ginger up super fine and put it into a simple syrup, which is, I've had people at a bar ask me if they can buy the simple syrup, and I'm going, I mean, yes, but like, it's literally just equal parts sugar and water together. It kind of says it in the name. It's simple syrup. Like, it's really easy. But that's like your go-to cocktail syrup. Ginger syrup, same thing, just simple syrup with ginger in it. All right, time for another cocktail. And it's not ginger syrup I'm going to be using tonight. It's going to be... Nope. I've got cinnamon syrup. I've got ginger syrup. Is this the one I'm looking for? Yeah. Rosemary syrup. Made by, yep, you guessed it, tossing rosemary into simple syrup. Genius, this guy. Absolutely mind-blowing. A little quarter ounce of that. Can someone in the chat tell me if I put the super sour in there? I don't think I did. I think I started talking about it, and then I forgot to put it in. I'm pretty sure I did not include that yet because I started talking about other things. I didn't put this in the cocktail, right? I'm pretty sure I did not. So, well, I'm going to say it's delicious either way. So, guys, help. Never touched it. Thanks, John. Okay. So, yeah, all right. What I was saying about this when I got so rudely interrupted by myself was, oh no, that was it. I used the lime juice. That's why I didn't need it. Anyway, I was going to talk about this. If you guys don't like, if you don't like stuff that goes bad, get some super sour for your bar. You can get a cocktail important for like $20. This is a lemon and lime juice substitute or citrus juice substitute that never goes bad. It's clear. You can keep it on your back bar for as long as you want. It's made with just a bunch of different citric acids and like citric or acid flavorings and stuff like that. It's made to be as close to lemon juice as humanly possible. I was very surprised at how convincing it was. It's definitely weird seeing some of your favorite cocktails a different color. Your brain immediately goes to, oh, I made that wrong or whatever. But it's really, really great. The price is, I mean, you know, for a home bar, it's perfect. For a business, maybe not so much. But for my needs at home, I use that for a lot of my citrus juice. Tonight, I went and got limes because, you know, it's a special occasion. But usually, super sour does the job really well. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of ice in here. I realized I was going to buy a large, semi-large ice machine for home. And then I realized not only was that going to be extremely expensive, it was also going to be, I was going to need to run into a kitchen line, blah, blah, blah. So this was my second idea, and it kind of worked out. I'm also trying to think, okay. Use this one for this. And I'm not going to bother the King Cube, I'm just going to use rocks in this one. I got this strainer from Mover and Shaker Company. They're based out of the States, but like really, really cool stuff. Amazing t-shirts for cocktail geeks and stuff like that. I paid so much fucking money for this strainer, but you know, when you're obsessed with something, you're obsessed. It's the exact same thing with the fridge I have underneath here. Sometimes you just gotta do it. Put that there, and we'll pretend this wasn't already a garnish. Look at that, so pretty. Cheers, guys. This is an autumn penicillin rip. I am very much into that. I am all about that. Wow, that's really nice. I think, actually, let's try. This is something I don't do very often. Where'd my bar spoon go? Where'd it go? Oh, there we go. This is not something I do very often, but I'm gonna do a little Ango float here. So it's almost tiki style. Angostura bitters, just aromatic bitters. It's kind of, I heard bitters described to me as the bartender's spice rack. Essentially, rule of thumb, bitters make it better. And a float is kind of a good way. It's kind of like a salt rim. Changes the flavor profile like right on the beginning. That's the way to do it. Yeah, just adds a little bit more to a little extra layer on there. Obviously a little bit different for a penicillin with an Ango float, but that's pretty good. That's really, really tasty stuff. And that one, from what I remember, that one's pretty easy to make. Montenegro is available at the LCBO. Isla Mist is LCBO. You can get Domaine de Canton, the ginger liqueur. It's a little bit on the pricey side for a liqueur, but you can also just make your own ginger syrup. If you want to do regular penicillin, you can get honey, literally just honey, throw it in there. A penicillin is an easy one to make, and it's a crowd pleaser. People really, really enjoy it. So, this one I've been kind of working on for a little while now. But what are you guys drinking tonight? That's what I'm interested in knowing about. I mean, I know over quarantine, I was seeing videos and photos and stuff of people going around neighborhoods in the GTA and looking at people's recycling bins, like just kind of walking down the street and seeing all the bottles of wine and stuff. I know that a lot of friends of mine have told me that they have upped their intake quite a bit. Oh, shoot. Wow, it's almost 8 o'clock already. I think I'm about to be kicked off Instagram. Wow, that went by really fast. Okay. I think I should probably, because I've heard some stuff that you gotta end it, and if you don't, it doesn't let you keep it or record it or anything. I think I'm gonna have to end this here because I just realized this went by faster than I thought it was gonna be. Catalan soda, yeah. Green vodka soda. Hey, at least somebody's drinking, honestly. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to end this here just because I want to be able to keep these on an hour format. Again, obviously, this is a perfect example of I'm still trying to work out the kinks, but before I get kicked off, I really want to say thank you everybody who tuned in tonight. I was super nervous about doing this because I know it sounds weird, but this is something I've never done before. Didn't know if I was going to have anything to talk about. Didn't know if I was going to have anybody to talk to. But you know what? I know that for me personally, it feels really good to be able to kind of just connect with my friends again and talk to the people that I've been missing so desperately over the past almost year now, which is kind of nuts. But I've been very happy with what I've been able to do in the meantime, and I hope that you guys use this as, something. I hope you guys tune in next week. I will be, mentioning a lot about it. I hope you continue to tune in and think of questions. Hop on with me if you want. Make a cocktail for yourself. Send it to me. Anything. My inbox is always open. My door is always here. I miss you guys, and I am very much looking forward to seeing each and every one of you at this bar as soon as humanly possible in person. So thank you guys, and I will see you next week.